Hier, Zdrowie und Servus. You're welcome to this session now. I'm Martin, I'm the moderator now. I'm from Fibel, Austria and Boku, Vienna. And actually I want to start with a quote. We know more about the movement of celestial bodies than about the soil underfoot. You know whose quote this is? Leonardo da Vinci, actually. That means like literally that we know more about skies, and we go with NASA, we go up there and do so much research, put so many efforts in it, and we still don't know so much about the soil. I mean, we already know much about our soils. They have to be healthy, and we know about structures, and we know really much about it, but it's very complex, as we heard in the first session today. But finally, we have to put all our efforts in and to gain all the knowledge. And I welcome you very much from all the countries who are coming in. And I'm happy to guide this through. And maybe very short, we're gonna gain some knowledge. That's very important, actually. And the first part will be Bruno and Stefan. They have their evaluation round first. And the second part will be with the facilitators. They're gonna have a statement, and it will be, I will explain it a little bit further. Then we also have a question round where you're all invited, you're all included. That means like you're really invited to put your questions then into the chat. Okay, then I would say Bruno and Stefan, the floor is yours, please.
Yes, thank you, Martin, for the introduction. Dear participants and moderators, during the last half an hour, you discussed about the best for soil videos, the fact sheets, and also the two databases. Your opinion and your experience are very important for us and also for the project. Only tools which are user-friendly and helpful for you as facilitator and farmers are good tools. With your help, we can improve the videos, fact sheets, and also the databases. Thank you very much for your input. Now I would like to summarize the most important remarks about the evaluation part with the videos, fact sheets, and the database. I would like now to call every country, the moderator, to tell us in 2 minutes the key sentence only from the evaluation part now. We will start with Austria, Alfred, and then we go to Petja, Jan, Judith, and Brankica. Alfred, you are the first. Hello, Alfred.
Hello, welcome from Austria. 10 points.
Yes. How evaluate the participants the best for soil videos, the fact sheets, and the databases? Please, Alfred.
Yeah, we have a very good feedback on our evaluation. So people really, the attendants really like, the participants of the conference really like the website, really like the project. They are really enthusiastic about what is going on at the Best for Soil project. I hope they did register already to the website. If not, please do it. It's really important to stay up to date. Just to read one of the feedbacks from Martina, for example. She said, I'm especially grateful for the exciting lecture by Adam, who gave interesting and practical insight into a farm that deals intensively with the topic of soil fertility. Another feedback also was a nice project, easy to understand introduction and detailed answers to the question. Nice except for the technical problems. So there was some technical problems at the beginning, but I think we could solve that. Yeah, and that's more or less the evaluation that's coming from the German session, German spoken session, mainly.
Okay, also 10 points to Austria. Very well done, Alfred. Now next to Bulgarian, Petja. What did you discuss in Bulgarian, please? If Petja is not there, maybe it's Stoico. Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Rico.
It's a very nice meeting. I just will present you the how the discussion was in Bulgarian session. We got more than 60 participants. It was a real surprise for me. That means that the thematic of the workshop is very interesting. We got some interesting feedbacks. It depends on the people participated in the session. For example, the students or beginners are very enthusiastic about the website and the materials and the tools in the website, so they appreciate a lot. For the farmers, they have specific questions and how to find a special, for example, seeds for cover crops for such conditions. So they need maybe more consultancy than looking at the videos. But in the general impression was that the website is very well appreciated among the Bulgarian public. And speaking about nematodes, for example, it was not very known problem among the participants in the session, but the cover crops and the green manure crops were very people were more interested in that topic from the morning session.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very cool. Now we go further to the Czech Republic and Slovakia to Jan, please. Hello, Jan.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for the floor, Stefan. Hello. Yes, we had some nice time trying to get familiar with the website and all the tools. We had a very interesting question in the Czech and Slovakian room regarding the availability of the mobile app in the future, since we are offering interesting materials such as fact sheets and videos that might be also nice to access from the mobile devices.
Okay, that's exactly the feedback we like to know now for the app. That's a very good idea. Thank you, Jan. We can go further to Judith, to Hungary. You discussed a lot about the videos. I saw it in the Padlet.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for the stage. We have well, the Hungarian participants were quite shy, so no one wanted to speak, but they were quite active in writing the chat. They like the videos and the fact sheets very much. It's very useful information. And we got some new topics that they would love to see on a video or a fact sheet. For example, carbon sequestration issues, how the soil organic matter can influence soil water holding capacity, and how it works like this. And but generally it was very useful for them, and they not all of them could read through all the material, but they encouraged to do that. About the databases, we have with the Hungarian version, or not the Hungarian version, but in generally with the database is a problem that you cannot choose Hungary. And but some of our colleagues tried it with a different country, and they love it, and they would love to have it for Hungary. So I think we can fix this problem, and it work with that. And we got a remark on that it would be very interesting to have not only nematodes and fungi and pathogens in it, but there are some insects. Their larvae survive the winter in the soil, and it would be interesting to have something included them in the database. I don't know if it's feasible, but maybe it's a good way forward for the next project, I think. So they like the material. They think that it would be good to have more detailed information on crop rotation, and some more about biological nutrient supply, to use some alternative materials like rocks and so on that can be used in organic agriculture, of course. Some cover crops were missing, or we couldn't find it, like broad beans. And I think that's all. That was all we collected for information. So it is very good, and the Hungarian audience liked that very much. Thank you for.
Thank you, Judith, for these remarks. And now, last but not least, we go to Serbia, to Brankica.
Hi, thank you.
Hi,
for
Brankica.
the stage. And now a short report from Serbia. So participants from Serbia really liked our website, and we got only compliments for the idea and for the content. They said that the database is excellent, and that it would be great if in the future web page offer more soil types so that search would be more precise. They also found some technical issue on our web page that should be corrected, like in some translations there are some mistakes in technological knowledge, but anyway, general idea is great, and they really appreciate our efforts, and they know how much work it needs to collect all the data, to analyze them, and to make it as something which is a tool that is ready to be used. So all in all, people from Serbia are very satisfied with our work.
Okay, thank you, Brankica, for this good news from Serbia. Now, for this afternoon, we will ask you again 2 questions about another topic of the Best for Soil project. So please discuss again how to do it like now. Now I finished, and I give the floor back to Martin.
Thank you, Stefan, very much for this really nice evaluation round. And now, dear audience, I really welcome you very much to engage and to what comes up to your mind, positive, negative feedback. It can be questions, because that's really important, because we're now going to have our question round, our discussion round. And it looks like this, that I'm going to get up to the stage. I'm going to invite several people, all the facilitators, to the stage to give a statement about 2 minutes. And then right after each facilitator, we're going to have a discussion and question round. And regarding the questions, we collected already some questions. And again, you're really invited to put the questions into the right box. You can just type it in, what comes to your mind. And yeah, so I really welcome you to do so. This is your chance to ask anything. Maybe not about Corona, but at least about soil. That's very welcomed. So first of all, I want to invite Alfred from Austria. He's a farmer and entrepreneur, and please come up to the stage.
Yeah, hello, back again. Short summary of what happened in the morning and what were the topics about that we talked. So number 1 video was about nematodes. Ines showed us how they do the sampling and the analytics and the lab, and there was quite some questions about where can you ask for that service, who is doing that service. So in Austria it's AGES is offering that service, but also crop specific questions. So which crop species are particularly frequently and severely damaged by nematodes. Then we discussed about which cover crop species would reduce the pressure on nematodes, and one of the most important questions that came up in regard to nematodes was if soil health in general has an impact on the abundance of these plant parasitic nematodes or not. So if you keep your soil healthy, if it would affect the pressure from plant parasitic nematodes at the end. And even if you provide all the nutrients that the plants need, if they are very well established, and then if they could themselves fight against or suppress the pressure from plant parasitic nematodes. Then there was the second video was about soil erosion, and that came up that the people attending the conference really liked this presentation coming from Adam, and there was a lot of good feedback on that, and also questions like what experience Adam has with buckwheat and direct seeding, if he could establish the same yield as with the conventional methods, and also what kind of trees were planted in the rows that were shown on the slides. Maybe Adam can give us some feedback on that also. Yeah, it was more or less just to summarize some of the requests that were taken from our German session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alfred. And now we directly go on. Alfred, can you stay here? Oh, Alfred, you were gone very much. I didn't even have the chance to ask or reply anything. So, Alfred, welcome back. Thank you. I know we're all hungry. We want to go for lunch. I understand. Maybe I get a sandwich as well.
Out. It's not mine.
No. I know Günther, the technical one. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him now afterwards. No, I'm kidding. So, Alfred, actually, we do the question round right now. That means the audience, if you have any questions about the videos, the facilitators or presenters, or anything what comes up to your mind you want to ask, please, this is your chance to put it in the chat and ask. And Alfred, about the questions, maybe there are some questions, and I was in the session as well. I tried to go to the Czech session, but actually I have to improve my Czech. That was a reminder to me what I learned from that session. Okay, but in the German session I saw there have been some questions erased, and so maybe there are some you want to mention or what are still open, and which other facilitators as well can maybe answer them, or maybe you.
Yeah, especially the questions, because Ines was joining us and in the German session, and so a lot of questions that were directed to Ines were already solved. But Adam's question couldn't be solved because he was not part of our discussion. So I don't know if he can answer some of these questions now. The one would have been what kind of trees he planted in his agroforestry system, or is it even called an agroforestry system? Maybe he can prepare something, write something in the chat, or even if he's backstage, he could answer that directly. I'm not sure if that's possible. And
we can check.
Then there were the question about alternatives to plowing. So I even could tell you a little bit about that if you're interested. So if Adam is not available, I could try to answer that.
Yes, that would be nice if you
could answer that.
Because
Adam is working on an organic farm in South Moravia, and we are working on an organic farm here in Austria. It's about 90 hectares, and we stopped plowing 25, 30 years ago. I don't even remind how long it was ago because it's already gone. And we are now working on reduced tillage or shallow tillage, as we call it, with the Treffler Präzisionsgruppe, where we work on 3 to 4 centimeters like this deep. And we can even terminate lucerne, which is a perennial crop and therefore quite difficult to kill or to terminate. And we do that in very shallow 4 centimeter depth and plan to winter weed afterwards. So we try to reduce the loss of nitrogen, because if you do a lot of tillage, then you have the risk, especially after 2 or 3 years of lucerne, that you mineralize a lot of the organic nitrogen and put it in another form, convert it to nitrate, and then it's lost during the winter precipitation. And that's there we can reduce that with this shallow tillage method, and we apply it to 90 hectares, so it works. We only once in a rotation, or maybe twice in a rotation, depending on the year and all the circumstances, we disc the soil about 10 to 15 centimeter deep. That's the deepest work that we do on our soils.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for that answer. And I'm going to invite the next person. So Alfred, thank you, and stay tuned. And now I'm going to get Petya, please. Petya, to the stage. Come to the stage. Petya is from BioSelena, and she's from Bulgaria. And she will give us the conclusion about the Bulgarian session. Petya. Maybe she has like some troubleshooting, because before there was troubleshooting as well. So I'm gonna, maybe you can get in touch with us if it's working again, or we're gonna try to solve this problem. So I'm gonna invite then Jan from Bio Institute. He's from Czech Republic, and he will give us some infos how the Bulgarian session went. Hello, Jan.
Nice to see you. Czech session, not Bulgarian, Czech and Slovak Republic.
Yes.
Yes. We had also very interesting, nice discussions. Maybe similar cases with Alfred's room. We had Adam present for his presentation, so most of his questions were answered in the room. But then we had those two presentations about nematodes. First one from Ines, which raised very interesting questions regarding the temperatures that are effective to kill the nematodes while applying the compost, or if there are any predatory nematodes species that can help to mitigate the populations of the pathogenic ones. Also, during this presentation, questions regarding the practical recommendations were raised, actually multiple of them, and that was a very good timing, because then the presentation of Jan Salomons came, and this presentation showed the database tool of the Best for Soil, showing the practical application of our tools. There was also a question directly for Jan from Professor Hajduk from Mendel University in Czech Republic, which was asking if Jan has any experience with special cultivars of cover crops bred against pathogenic nematodes, such as the white mustard or other brassicas and other families. So that's from the Czech and Slovak room.
Oh, yes. And do you want to, thank you very much for this conclusion. Do you want to add something about some maybe really important question, what came up, which is maybe not answered, or what you think like you want to share with the audience? What could be like, yeah, profitable?
Yes, there was definitely the one for Jan Salomon. There were those two questions for Ines about the temperatures that are effective for killing the nematodes, and there was also a question that maybe Adam could explain about soil and wind erosion on the farm, and what is the experience with implementing the measures on a rented land, which is, I think, very interesting topic in a Czech and Slovak Republic.
Okay, thank you, Jan, very much. On behalf of the Czech and Slovakian Republic
Thanks
session,
as well.
Thank you very much. And yeah, stay tuned, please. And next, I want to invite Judith from ÖMKI from Hungarian. I hope I spelled it right. Please correct me. But Judith, please come to the stage. And before you,
Hi.
Welcome, Judith. Hi. Hi.
Fine.
How are you doing?
It
How
was
was your
very
day?
good, and we have a very interesting session. Well, not too much remarks, but lots of questions.
Oh, now you have enough questions. I just wanted to, because I know that now 10,000 people are watching this, so I want to invite all the people, please put your answers, the best, put your questions into the chat. Yeah, that would be the best, actually, directly the answer, then we don't have to ask them. No, but please put the questions into the right chats, because yeah, now it's really the chance to solve some issues and some things you have on your mind. Judith, very much sorry for interrupting. I just wanted to encourage the crowd to participate. Thank you. So the floor is yours.
Okay.
So you have 2 minutes.
Thank
Many
you very
questions,
much.
you said? Yes.
Everyone in our session found the presentations very interesting and inspiring. So we collected a lot of questions to the presenters. So if we have a chance to ask them, and if we can get at least the answers or some of them, it would be very nice. So can I go ahead with the questions?
Yes,
Thank
sure,
you.
Please. Yes.
So we have questions both to Ines and Jan concerning nematodes. In Hungary, some of the farmers has some bad experiences when they grow tuber crops. And one of the question is that are there any suggestions for biological solutions against nematodes besides crop rotation? And the other question was that cover crops, microbiology, or other aspects that influence the nematodes' presence on a field and their damage. It would be nice to hear some more about this. And the other very interesting one was that if they have experiences in nematode appearance comparing fields with plowing and with no-till, if it influenced the presence and or a ratio of harmful and good nematodes. And is there any data on how the mycorrhizal hyphae affects on harmful nematodes? Yes, well,
thank you.
And
yes.
If I have a chance, maybe later on, I can give some more questions because we have questions not only for Jan and Ines, but to Adam as well.
Okay, that sounds very good. We will check if they are available, and we're gonna talk to them. Maybe they can even come up to stage. But thank you for the questions now. And I would say you can also, if you want to answer or like give a statement to the questions. Otherwise, we're gonna have Adam here who answers all the questions, right? So
hello.
So maybe, hi Adam. Nice. Nice to see you. Did you hear the questions or the questions?
Yeah, I heard
which
the
were
question
raised
about
regarding you?
buckwheat, about direct drilling of buckwheat.
Mhm.
There was a specific question about the yield. Am I right? Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
So we have trialed two scenarios this year. One was accidentally, that we had a field of peas that were infested with oats, and we have mulched these peas with oats because it was not worth of keeping. And using our standard drill, which is also no-till drill, we have drilled. We also, the biomass we cultivated very shallowly, waited for a few days, and then we direct drilled into this, and the yield was 0.8 tons per hectare. It's not much, but we usually get between 1 and 1.5 tons for buckwheat. But using the standard cultivation, which is more demanding regarding the money, I think this was kind of a success, because this way we could have reacted really early. There was already money invested on that field for cultivation of peas and drilling the peas and blah blah blah. So overall, it was a success because we could have keep the soil covered. It's up to the farmer if he harvests it or use it as a cover crop. We were lucky enough that even though it was drilled in the beginning of June, the buckwheat, we still could have harvested 0.8 tons. And we were counting that this might be used as a cover crop, so we used a special variety of buckwheat. It's called leharpe, and this leharpe accumulates a lot of biomass. So in case we wouldn't harvest the buckwheat for seed, we still could incorporate it into the soil with great amount of biomass. And the second scenario where we were trialing, we haven't evaluated it. We really wanted to see if total mint-till is possible for buckwheat. There were some problems with perennial weeds and so on, but and due to COVID-19, we couldn't get the right machinery on our farm. We couldn't go to Austria and pick up a roller crimpler that we wanted to use on the field. So we had to use discs instead of to roll the winter cover crop mixture. So it was a lot of improvised work. It works out. It works out for buckwheat, but the problem is the cost justification. You have very small yield for buckwheat. The price is so on. Sure, it's good for the soil, but to justify the cost, we have to work on that much harder.
Yeah, seems to be hard, improvising in this time, doing improvisation. Well, congrats that you managed.
There was a
finally.
question about trees.
Yes.
I have written an answer into the chat.
Yep.
For the stage. No special trees. The apple, plums, some berries, pears. But we are using old varieties, not because it's cool, but because they are low demanding for this type of planting, just planting them on the field. So they primarily do not. We don't use the produce primarily from them. They have another value for us. Therefore, we use these old varieties which are not so demanding and can withstand such harsh conditions, on the field. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for answering. Judith, Adam, thank you very much for joining. And I have to invite the next person. And thank you. And now we have Stojko from Biosilena from Bulgaria, actually, instead of Petya. please come up to the stage. So Stojko from Biosilena, and we have 10 minutes left, so we are on time, and we're soon gonna have the lunch break. You can still answer. You can still raise questions. Yeah, it's a running gag, I guess. So.
Hi, Martin.
So,
thank you.
Stojko, hi. Nice to see you.
It was very interesting. It was very interesting session, as
Go
I
ahead,
mentioned.
yes.
Do you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I hear you. I hear you perfect. Yes.
As I mentioned in the first part of the presentation, there was a lot of discussion, but the nematodes was really a matter that it was not very known by the participants. In this topic, we have one interesting question: is the resistance of plant varieties to nematodes? And one of the questions was that is it true that some of the resistant varieties, for example, the tomatoes, are not so much resistant when the external temperature is higher than 22 degrees? So it was a concrete question. And another question was, is there any suggestions for treatment of nematodes? Because in the two presentations, the presenters were speaking mainly about the crop rotation and cover crops, but not on specific treatment. So on the cover crops and soil erosion, there were some questions about suggestion for cover crops for potato production, or if there is any videos about mycorrhiza or allelopathia between cultures, etc. Another question was to recommend cover crops for orchards. I think some of the question was it's difficult to answer right concretely. It depends on the soils, etc. But these are questions we collect.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone want to answer? Otherwise, we can invite you to answer this question as you like. If you have some comments, or we can also head on. Yes. Is there any question which is like where you think this question we should maybe answer? Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Once again, for the potatoes,
thank you.
I can find the link. I know that in Austria or Germany there is a farmer growing potatoes right in the green mulch of cover crops. So this might be interesting for the participants from Bulgaria. So I can have a look for the link and share it here for you guys.
Thank you.
So.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. So, okay. Yeah, thank you, Stojko. We will go on, and next I want to ask Brankica from the Institute of Pesticides and Environmental Protection from Serbia on the stage, and she's gonna wrap up the Serbian session. Brankica, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Martin, very much. Hi. We also had a discussion in Serbia, but discussion was a writing type of discussion because our participants also were too shy to stand up to the floor and to speak. But anyway, we got a lot of interesting questions and a lot of comments. Participants appreciated all three presentations, and we got some comments and also some opinions and some questions. In my opinion, the most important question was what are the most effective curative measures that are available in the system of ecological production in terms of nematode control. And also we had one participant suffering from a 50% yield loss because of nematodes. He is growing cucumbers in protected cultivation, and he tried to solve a problem with the with the soil resting and solarization, but it didn't work, and the way of that production was not in his opinion, was not cost effective. Also, we had a lot of comments about Adam's presentations. People liked it and asked about plant species. What are the best to be used as cover crops? What is the advantage of using mixtures, or shall they use only single crops? And there was one interesting question: how do we control pests that are living or overwintering in soil in plant production systems without ploughing and deep cultivation? And about the third presentation of Jan, we got also compliments for that presentation. And some of the participants asked if the number of nematodes in the soil can be decreased by introduction of brassicaceae crops, except rapeseed, in crop rotation. And also there was one question about pH value of soil and its influence on the development of plant pathogenic nematodes. So all in all, a lot of questions. We cannot expect all of them to be answered right now, but if some of them could be, that would be nice.
Yes, thank you, Brankica, for the conclusion. Actually, I want to ask Ines if she's here, then she can maybe answer that question about nematodes. You also have one from the chat from MS. What plant extracts can we use against nematodes? Do we know about any useful effects? So maybe Ines is here, Ines Gabel, then we can maybe answer these questions. And I want to let you know, in general, it will not be possible to answer all questions in the sessions or within the conference, but actually we're gonna answer them all. We get back to you, or we go on the homepage, but we're gonna answer every question what was raised. So Ines is maybe not available. Maybe we ask Adam again. Adam, oh, welcome back. So you're very used to it. That's good. Like always available. That's nice.
Yeah, no problem. I said
your microphone. Yeah. You have to put on your microphone. Okay, there is one from the chat. Another one. Maybe I raised this question. And can cover crops be hosts of pests and plant diseases?
and this is one of the risks you have to
okay.
handle. We, however, in our system, we don't grow brassicas as a cash crop. Therefore, using brassicas in cover crops, there is no problem. But I can imagine if you grow some brassicas as a cash crop, you can have a problem with brassicas in your cover crops. There is one problem that with Italian ryegrass, which can host some disease that can attack cereals. So we usually try not to grow the Italian ryegrass because we have a lot of cereals in our crop rotation. So sure, you have to look into this and evaluate if it's a problem or it can be a problem.
Okay, thank you. And maybe one last question. We have 1 minute left. Brankica, you want to repeat
the question was
to Adam?
If he prefers to use a single species as a cover crop or to use a mixture.
Mixture is always better in our conditions because, as described in presentation, we farm in very heterogeneous conditions, meaning that you might start in 250 meters elevation in the valley, and in 1 kilometer you are in 350 meters. The conditions change very much, and also in the pictures, in the photos, in the presentation, you could see that there was a mixture that consisted the same elements, and it performed completely different on 3 different fields. Even last week I was on the farm, and some plants performed well in the valley, some performed better on the hill. So mixture is better. It's more demanding. It costs more money. there is a problem with drilling, even though when we use volunteer crimson clover or field peas as a cover crop, we try to incorporate another component into it by passing with a drill, and we usually add mustard. So even in this in this situation, we try to add at least the second component.
Is it possible to single out one best cover crop?
No. No.
Really quick answer, Adam. Okay, perfect. You can get later to each other, like you can connect and maybe discuss this further, or we're gonna raise the question later on again. But thank you very much, Brankica, and very much thank to you, Adam, for showing up again. And yes, now it's 12:30, and I guess now it's time for a really well-deserved lunch break. We're gonna be back at 2 p.m. right here with the next session. It's about green manure and cover crops. And yeah, I welcome you back then, and yeah, enjoy your lunch. Thank you for tuning in, and see you later on. Bye.